Respect the space and resources. You're a guest in someone's home or property. Clean up after yourself, be mindful of utilities, and treat their belongings with care. Engage with the experience beyond just the work. Join family meals if invited. Participate in activities. Ask questions about what your hosts are doing and why. The relationships and learning are often the most valuable parts. Be flexible when reasonable. Plans change, weather affects farm work, unexpected things come up. Going with the flow while maintaining boundaries about your core agreement shows maturity. Connect with other volunteers if there are any. These often become travel friends and future couch surfing connections. Take time for yourself, too. Just because accommodation is free doesn't mean you need to work every waking moment. Use your free time to explore, work on personal projects, or simply rest. Sometimes, despite everyone's best intentions, work exchanges don't work out. Here's how to handle difficulties. If the work hours are significantly more than agreed upon, address it calmly and directly. Reference your original agreement and ask to stick to those terms. Most hosts will respect this. If the accommodation or food situation is notably worse than described, bring it up. Say something like, "I noticed the listing mentioned meals included, but I'm buying my own food. Can we clarify the arrangement?" If you feel unsafe, uncomfortable, or the situation is drastically different from what was described, you have every right to leave. Use your backup accommodation fund and politely but firmly excuse yourself. Your well-being comes first. Document serious issues and report them to the platform. This protects future volunteers. Remember that cultural differences can cause misunderstandings. Something that seems like poor hospitality to you might be normal in that culture, or vice versa. Try to distinguish between cultural adjustment and legitimate problems. If you need to leave early for personal reasons, give as much notice as possible and apologize for any inconvenience. Offer to help them find a replacement if you can. Always leave a review, whether positive or negative. Honest feedback helps the community function. Be fair and specific. Don't trash a host over minor inconveniences, but do flag legitimate concerns about excessive work, poor conditions, or misrepresentation. Work exchanges have completely transformed how I travel. They've allowed me to stay in places for months at a time, learning skills I never expected to gain, forming friendships across cultures, and exploring regions far deeper than I could as a typical tourist. I've picked olives in Greece, taught English in Vietnam, helped run a hostel in Ecuador, and worked on a permaculture farm in New Zealand. Each experience taught me something valuable, whether it was practical skills, cultural insights, or simply patience and adaptability. The money you save is substantial. Eliminating accommodation costs mean your budget stretches exponentially further, but the real value goes beyond financials. You gain insider knowledge of places, you contribute meaningfully to communities, and you collect stories and skills that enrich your entire life. Start with shorter placements if you're nervous. A 2-week commitment at a hostel in a place you are already planning to visit is low risk and gives you a taste of how work exchanges function. Be realistic about what you're getting into. It's actual work, not a vacation, but it's work that's usually varied, often outdoors, and always connected to something meaningful. Choose hosts carefully, communicate clearly, show up with a good attitude, and be the kind of volunteer you'd want if the roles were reversed. The world is full of people building interesting projects, running sustainable farms, creating community spaces, and welcoming travelers who want to be part of something beyond just passing through. Your skills, your energy, and your willingness to contribute have value. Trade them wisely, and you'll unlock a style of travel that's richer, slower, and more connected than you ever imagined. So sign up for a platform, build your profile, and send out those first applications. Your next adventure is waiting, and it might just involve getting your hands dirty in the best possible way. Safe travels, budget nomads, and I'll see you in the next video.